While a fan of Final Fantasy since the mid-90s, I've long been wary of trying the second, which received a nearly unanimous hostile reception. The rejection of the leveling system in particular was so severe that Square would eventually give in and substantially alter it. Thanks to subsequent improvements, today's FF2 is an inoffensive, mediocre experience, more notable for the boldness of its ideas than their execution. Not only did it introduce a more involved, fast-paced story to the series, FF2 practically foreshadowed a beloved sequel with its frequent tragic moments, evil Empire antagonist, rotating cast, and theme of betrayal and redemption. Your party is a trio of young war refugees battling the existential threat that is the Palamecian Empire. You'll journey not just the world, but even through dimensions to get to the root of the problem. An array of interesting characters fill the fourth spot, helping advance the story. Firion, Maria, Guy, and company strengthen not through accumulating experience points and leveling up. Instead, they become more proficient at their assigned actions and weapons, also toughening up via sustaining damage. The original game's chief complaint, antagonist stats being weakened as the opposite strengthens, such as increased physical strength lowering magic damage, has been eliminated since the 2004 GBA release. The leveling system's freedom is engaging at the beginning, but doesn't take much ingenuity to exploit. With vigorously trained, bare-fisted attacks and basic spells easily disposing of most enemies and bosses, combat was largely mindless except for the final battle, which is tricky if you skip the chance to obtain a special sword or don't utilize a particular buffing spell. The implementation of novel subsystems found in many later RPGs struck a better balance between linear progress and customization. One thing not overhauled were the dungeons. Often dull, plotting, and filled with doors leading to dead-end trap rooms, the option to turn off battles altogether is especially welcome here. The keyword system used during dialogue with pivotal characters was a well-intentioned idea to encourage the player to pay attention and feel more involved in the story's flow, but soon amounts to little more than busy work. The soundtrack is highly engaging, yet lacking in any undeniable classics expected of the series. Some highlights include the strikingly somber overworld music and the tightly composed Rebel Army theme. Looking very similar to the first game, small touches such as airships flying over the world map and your party exiting battle scenes help distinguish it. Larger spectacles include flying into cyclones, being swallowed by sea monsters, and the debut of chocobos. FF2's daring narrative and mechanics took an admirable leap at inviting the player into the world, and the features of the Pixel Remaster version helped to speed through the drudgery. Unfortunately, even after numerous refinements, the game still isn't enjoyable enough to recommend. Square's efforts didn't completely go to waste, as the lofty ideas introduced here were beautifully realized in a later title, itself formerly called Final Fantasy II.